on the Western Cape province in the city of Cape Town late in the week. That's roughly on the 10th of Jan. They'll be in the country for a one-night only performance, and while in the country, they will hand over gifts to 5 top students who performed exceptionally well in the fields of visual arts, drama, dance studies, design and music. Now joining us to talk more on this from our Cape Town studio is Ben Museme, who is the CEO of C Squared. Ben, good morning and welcome. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, good. Happy New Year to you too.
Ben, let's talk about this. I mean, you can't get bigger acts in music that bring history, legacy and an all-round good time as the Manhattans. Just talk to me about how that came about.
This concept was established late last year. It's called the Soulful Sounds, which will be touring the country from this first quarter of the year. We will be going to Bloemfontein around April, May. We will be in Durban around June, July. Obviously, we'll be bringing different mix of artists and genre, and then we'll end up in Johannesburg around November 2015. The Soulful Sounds, it's basically an entertainment weekend full of a musical extravaganza from gospel to soul to R&B, and we'll put in maybe comedy in between. But the focus for now is January 10 in Cape Town. We will be bringing Mikasa, Donald, The Soil, and obviously the American legends, Manhattans. So we will be at the Cape Town International Convention Center on the 10th of January. Tickets are available at CompuTicket nationwide.
Ben, let's talk about this mix, because they're not only coming here to perform, but there's also a handover ceremony where you'll be acknowledging students that have done exceptionally well. Why pair the two?
Look, I think the focus in the past has been on mathematics and science, and the arts has been neglected, and arts contributes heavily on the economy of the country. So we took the initiative to actually assist by bringing laptops and iPads into the mix, and we'll be giving out to top 5 matriculants who are going to study in the sphere of arts, entertainment, music, etc. So the guys, after the results next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, you just SMS or you email your results to d@myarts.co.za, and we're going to be assessing that through the criteria that we've put together, looking at the background of the student and the needs, and we will be actually doing the final assessment. On Thursday, the Manhattans are arriving in Johannesburg. They'll be there at the SABC studios. On Friday, they'll be here in Cape Town, and we're going to call those top 5 students and give them their packages that they have won. But basically, it's an enablement initiative to assist you to have some support when you get to the university, some tools that will enable you to be able to further your studies by giving you iMacs and iPads so that you can do your research, you can do your assignments, and you can do your case studies.
There's this debate that's raging, whether the arts industry is a credible industry for kids to go into. We know that in Johannesburg it's called the golden economy. We know that in Cape Town they spend a lot of money. Coming up now, for example, is the Minstrels Annual Parade, which attracts thousands of numbers, yet it's undervalued. Or is there a perception that it's undervalued? What is your perception of the arts industry?
I don't think it's even a perception. It's the reality that arts and its contribution to the GDP is actually not being researched thoroughly, and we are not giving the country the true picture. Hence, the Department of Arts nationally has came up with an initiative called the Mzansi Golden Opportunities. Basically, if you look at the Cape Town International Festival, you look at Makufe, you look at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, those are some of the properties that cuts across in different spheres of arts. And they contribute huge numbers to the GDP, as I've said in the past, from hospitality to travel. I mean, you come to Cape Town now, you ask for accommodation, prices are very, very high, hotels are fully booked. The petrol stations are pumping, the waterfront is pumping. Everywhere you go, we were in Khayelitsha last night and Gugulethu, you can see the entertainment is at peak. So it continues to bring, for example, an extension to the festive season, which benefits a lot of industries from retail to manufacturing, etc. So I think this project needs to be thoroughly done, and we need to know exactly how do we contribute to the arts and culture in industry within the GDP of the country. So that is the focus that needs to happen. However, us as promoters, us as events organizers, we also need to contribute and give back to the society and invest back in our people, and by ensuring that we promote this sphere. I mean, graphic designers, that is something that is very, very big. You look at most of the projects that are happening in the country. You can have a nice iPad, but if it's not been sold properly in terms of its intrinsic and the brand extrinsic, what is it that it offers you? How do you feel by owning one? Then you lost. So it's only through conceptual, through creative skills that we are able to sell most of the products that the scientists and the mathematicians are able to put on the table. So it is part of the value chain. It is very, very valuable, and it's a very important element of the country.
Ben, we're going to leave it there, but thank you very much for joining me. That was Ben Museme, who's the Chief Executive Officer of C-Squared, talking to us about the initiative of helping students who have done well in their art studies. Also, don't forget, of course, the Manhattans will start their trip in Cape Town on the 10th of January at the CTICC. We take an ad break.